Sex is natural. It's not unnatural. It's actually unnatural not to be involved in sex. Sex is the primal program for the reproduction of the species.
Is sex in the way of enlightenment?
Geez, I hope not.
Why is sexuality such a focus for so many in the spiritual circles?
Is that a serious question?
No. Do you want me to move on to the serious questions?
Everything that's outward is in the way of enlightenment. Because enlightenment is an inward adventure, not an outward adventure. As long as your awareness is outwards, you're headed in the wrong direction. That that's aware of sexuality, that's aware of anything, is an inward adventure, not an outward adventure.
So, as a teacher, anytime you're pointing people to things that they're doing wrong or unconsciously in the outward world, how's that really assisting them if it's inward that they need to be becoming aware?
If anything in the outward world creates contraction or resistance in you, it's going to be an obstacle in the way. It's that simple. And so the work, if you like to call it the work, is to remove all the obstacles that are in the way. And anything that contracts you, anything that creates resistance in you, and that'll be belief systems of some kind, are in the way. A belief system that has an expectation on it, when not met, creates contraction in you. It's in the way. And so the work is undoing all the belief systems that are in the way.
Why did so many sannyasins...
Hang on a second. People think that they can go straight to superconsciousness or enlightenment by doing nothing. Yeah, well, they may be able to go there, but they can't stay there. Because if they live in the material world and they're full of belief systems that cause contraction when the expectation on them is not met, well, they're not going to stay in beingness. Awareness is going to go back to the mind. They're going to lose whatever's found, no matter how many times they find it. This idea that somehow you go into beingness and you stay there without doing any work at all on your mind is ridiculous. It's not how it works. If you don't do the work to create a mind that will support enlightenment, there isn't going to be any enlightenment. Yep, go ahead.
Why do you think so many sannyasins of Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh got lost in sexuality despite the teachings of Osho?
I think the reason that most seekers get lost, not just Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh sannyasins, is because they collect knowledge instead of practicing what is taught. This idea that if we get enough knowledge on spirituality, we can wake up is rubbish. It's not how it works. No amount of knowledge ever healed a wound of your heart. No amount of knowledge ever brought a person home to truth. The collection of knowledge is the booby prize. But when people collect knowledge, they think they know. Because they've collected so much, they think they know. That level of arrogance guarantees no enlightenment. It is the beginner's mind that supports enlightenment, not a mind that thinks it arrogantly knows all the answers. And so it is the collection of knowledge that's usually the greatest downfall of any seeker, whether they're Buddhist, Hindu or Rajneesh.
Do sexual kinks point to dysfunction within a seeker and cause problems on the path to higher consciousness and enlightenment?
Explain what you mean by sexual kinks, please.
Mainly BDSM. Yeah, I guess things that would be considered outside the realm of normal sexuality.
The only thing that causes a problem is contraction and resistance to whatever. If you can be kinked and bent out of shape and not resist and not contract, good for you, you know?
What about, do you have any views on celibacy as a path to enlightenment?
Yeah, disappointment. A lot of disappointment on a regular basis. I mean, sex is natural. It's not unnatural. It's actually unnatural not to be involved in sex. Sex is the primal program for the reproduction of the species. I don't see sex as a problem. I see people's contraction to life, to ideas, to understandings, to belief systems. I see that as the problem. I see people's attachment to different things as a problem. Sex is not a problem. Sex is a problem to those who don't know what they're talking about.
Thank you.
Thank you, Si. Well, that should have upset a few people.